Hi. Tempus fugit. It's time for the show. Here we go.
Oh, golden hour captured by leaf, gently bear to fall, the details in between, an offering so deep. How would you massage God? Would you smother him in blazing red, canary yellow, or I'd take golden fog, mellow leaf, needle love through fingertips to deeply treat his aching back while he is so busy.
I just have to remember one line at a time. Here we go. Hi everyone, welcome to Candlelight Nook. My name is Diogo. Hi everyone, welcome to Candlelight Nook. My name is Diogo. I'm very excited about this platform and about the different types of things that we're going to be able to share and the types of conversations that I hope to have. But instead of getting too much into that, let's just begin. So first, I'd like to thank you. Even if I don't know who you are personally, I will talk to you like a friend that is just asking me a question about anything. So today we're going to talk about meditation, because thinking about it in its relationship with mindfulness and spiritual advancement is itself enlightening. Meditation is important because it can help us develop our free will. It's free, which is great, and it can also be a tool that can protect us from fear and anxiety. When we think about meditation, we usually think about somebody sitting half or full lotus in a forest or by a river taking really deep breaths. But this is only part of the picture. Because of this image that people have, usually even people that know what the benefits of meditation are won't take it up because of the strict physical postures, because of the difficulty of finding such a serene place beside a river or on the top of a mountain. So the Oxford Dictionary defines meditation in this way: reflect, think, ponder, study, ruminate, cogitate, contemplate, and the very fancy cerebrate. So given this definition, we shouldn't consider that meditation is just a rigid posture. We should consider that any kind of psychic activity which is very focused is a type of meditation. So somebody that's going to a job interview is contemplating putting their best assets forward. A person that's playing a video game is in deep thought about all the dangers ahead or how to solve the particular puzzles. Even catching a small glimpse of food in a commercial can inspire us to start thinking about what snack we're going to have several hours ahead. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that while contemplating the objects of the senses, a person develops attachment for them. And since everything that we see in the material world is directly related to our senses, then meditation on it is sort of biological. It's not so much coming from our own free will. It's a little bit mechanic and even deterministic. So because of that automatic aspect of those types of thoughts, we don't really consider it meditation. First, we consider meditation that which is focused and directional, intentional, that comes out of our own free will, not something that's automatic, or in other words, because our senses told us so. The Sanskrit word that Krishna uses is dhyato, which implies an absorption, and it means that it's coming from within. Secondly, we consider a worthwhile meditation that which causes us to think about something beyond our local senses, to expand our consciousness. It's very important to be aware of our personal relationship with meditation, because the people in very high places that are making decisions that affect everyone are very intentionally and focusedly meditating on what they're going to do. And if their decisions are not representing everyone, then the people who aren't represented by those decisions have a responsibility to meditate on how to make their lives better, instead of expecting someone else to meditate for them. The purpose of our lives is not to allow anyone to control what we do physically or think of mentally, but rather how we can become free completely. So we can see that naturally the best type of meditation is that which elevates our consciousness. Unlike the objects of the senses, however, which are readily available to everyone to meditate upon, the objects of consciousness require a little bit of searching. The Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Nectar of Devotion, the Bible, the Holy Quran, these books are made to inspire readers to meditate on metaphysical or transcendental subjects. Actually, the Srimad Bhagavatam is specifically written with this purpose in mind. It's a biography of saints and their relationship with God, with the divine. The Srimad Bhagavatam begins with a very simple and a very powerful premise. And the premise is that everything comes from one thing, and that it is only because, in the highest sense, the supreme cause is a conscious being, that the effects, like us, are also conscious beings. The inference is that if we ever want to act in a way that benefits ourselves, the people around us, and the world in which we live in, we have to become conscious of our relationship with that whole, with that source, with the divine cause of all things. And this is where meditation comes in. If we don't understand our inalienable relationship with the whole, all of our actions will be incomplete or only affecting part of the world instead of affecting all of it. For example, say we find that our favorite plant is thirsty. Since plants don't drink from their leaves, it wouldn't do us any good to water them on each individual leaf. We would do well to give water to the root, because that's where the plant drinks from. Many of the saints described in Srimad Bhagavatam were put into terribly difficult circumstances, but because their minds were absorbed in loving meditations on God, they didn't experience it with the same acuity that a person that is totally absorbed in the material would have. In the Bible, Jesus didn't curse anybody for what they were doing to him. He was actually just thinking about God and hoping that he would forgive them. In the same way that you can stay up all night putting together a present for someone that you love while ignoring all the inconveniences of your very heavy eyes, a self-realized person can live in this world and walk through it without being of it, because their heart is totally absorbed in thoughts about the transcendent reality. Of course, everything that we're talking about is just one part of knowledge. It's the detail aspect of knowledge. What we're really interested in is the assimilated, the practiced, the personally experienced part of knowledge. So what do? Meditation is important because the world is impermanent and unstable. Any situation that we find ourselves in is likely to change. And if our mind is absorbed in the reality of that situation, then it's going to be disturbed when the reality of that situation changes. Many people's lives were upset in this last year, and now more than ever, it's important to learn the very simple techniques of meditation so that we can maintain peace in our lives while everything around us is in chaos. Beyond the local benefits of meditation, we'll learn to be relevant individuals in the lives of other people as well, and also learn to do things non-conditionally. Or in other words, we'll learn to do things not only for the reason of money, but because it's necessary and because we're free to do good. So what can we do? We can find someone who's sincerely and seriously practicing a spiritual path. The spiritual path is one. It directs the individual to know the cause of all causes, God, Jehovah, Allah, Krishna. And secondly, we can meditate on those holy names, which can be done anywhere, irrespective of our sitting posture or whether or not we slouch, which I do sometimes. It can be done while we dance, it can be done while we eat, while we cook, while we walk, while we go to work, anywhere. The physical is limited to being in a particular place at a particular time in a particular way, but we can interact with the metaphysical anywhere because it's omnipresent. The power of that sublime truth is so attractive that all we have to do is desire. The rest, as they say, is like gravity. Our greatest responsibility is to our spiritual realization. And I hope that this conversation about meditation and about how practical it is and practicable inspired you to maybe want to take it up or ask somebody that you know about it. Feel free to share it with anyone else who's interested in meditation, and reach out to me if you have any questions or if you're also interested in these kinds of things and we can talk about it. We actually learn a lot from each other by sharing whatever we know. Join us every other Wednesday for another video about practical yoga. Thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great rest of the day.
Left hand is for the sweeper with the right, he does the rest. Left hand is for the sweeper with the right, he does the rest. Resting place of every living entity. Resting place of every living entity.